Hey, it's me, Nacy, coming to you this afternoon with a reading from Thoth, the Atlantean's Emerald Tablets. Today, we will be reading Tablet 1 together, and in the comments section of this video, I will link two resources. One from UCLA's library that you can go online and download the ancient text and read them for yourself at an opportunity that you have, hopefully, very soon to research this, as well as an audio book link for the Emerald Tablets. A gentleman reads these very well. Believe it takes maybe 2 to 3 hours to finish the 12 tablets, but nonetheless, I am going to read Tablet 1 with you as promised. And if you have any other questions, please shoot me a message through Messenger or text me, and we can schedule a time where we can talk or discuss the tablets at length with my son Alex, who will more than likely be able to join us on a conference call or a video chat if that's something that you'd like to do in the future. So without further ado, let me read Tablet 1. And hopefully this will pique your curiosity to continue this research on your own. Emerald Tablets by Thoth the Atlantean, Tablet 1. It reads, I, Thoth the Atlantean, master of mysteries, keeper of records, mighty king, magician, living from generation to generation, being about to pass into the halls of Amenti, sat down for the guidance of those that are to come after, these records of the mighty wisdom of the great Atlantis. And I will stop right there for just a second to state that there are some who theorize Atlantis was just a myth. I say to that, in my own humble opinion, for the research that I have done and the text that I have read, that Atlantis too was a very great mighty civilization that once existed on this earth and still exists today, more than likely being submerged underwater in the great ocean of the earth. I have come to the understanding in my research and in my knowledge that there are two great floods that happened on this planet, though we only know, or it's widely theorized or talked about or proven that there is one flood. There was actually two that actually happened. So let me continue the reading. Just wanted to put that out there. In the great city of Kiora, on the island of Undal, in a time far past, I began the incarnation. Not as little men of the present age did the mighty ones of Atlantis live and die, but rather from aeon to aeon did they renew their life in the halls of Amenti, where the river of the life flows eternally onward. 100 times 10 have I descended the dark way that led into light. And as many times have I ascended from the darkness into light, my strength and power renewed. Now for a time I descend, and the men of kin shall know me no more. But in time yet unborn will I rise again, mighty and potent, requiring a counting of those left behind. Then beware, O men of kin, if ye have falsely betrayed my teaching, for I shall cast ye down from the high estate into the darkness of caves from whence ye came. Betray not my secrets to the men of the north or the men of the south, lest my curse fall upon ye. Remember and heed my words, for surely will I return again and require of thee that which ye guard. I, even from beyond time and from beyond death, will I return, rewarding or punishing as ye have requited your trust. Great were my people in the ancient days, great beyond the conception of the little people now around me, knowing the wisdom of old, seeking far within heart of infinity knowledge that belonged to the earth's youth. Wise were we with the wisdom of the children of light who dwelt among us. Strong were we with a power drawn from the eternal fire. And all of these, greatest among the children of men, was my father, Thothmi, keeper of the great temple, link between the children of light who dwelt within the temple and the races of men who inhabited the 10 islands, mouthpiece after the 3 of the dweller of Undal, speaking to the kings with a voice that must be obeyed. Grew I there from a child into manhood, being taught by my father the elder mysteries, until in time there grew within the fire of wisdom, until it burst into a consuming flame. Not desired I, but the attainment of wisdom, until on a great day the command came from the dweller of the temple, that I be brought up before him. Few there were among the children of men who had looked upon that mighty face and lived. For not as the sons of men are the children of light, when they are not incarnate in a physical body. Chosen was I from the sons of men, taught by the dweller, so that his purposes might be fulfilled, purposes yet unborn in the womb of time. Long ages I dwelt in the temple, learning ever and yet ever more wisdom, until I too approached the light emitted from the great fire. Taught me he the path to Amenti, the underworld, where the great king sits upon his throne of might. Deep I bowed in homage before the lords of light and the lords of death. Receive as my gift the key of life. Free was I of the halls of Amenti, bound not by death to the circle of life. Far to the stars I journeyed, into place to the space and time became as naught. Then, having drunk deep of the cup of wisdom, I looked into the hearts of men, and there found I great mysteries and was glad. For only in the search for the truth could my soul be stilled, and the flame within me be quenched. Down through the ages I lived, seeing those around me taste the cup of death, and return again in the light of life. Gradually from the kingdoms of Atlantis passed waves of consciousness that had been one with me, only to be replaced by spawn of a lower star. In obedience to the law, the word of the master grew into the flower. Downward into darkness turned the thoughts of the Atlanteans, until last in his wrath arose from the Guanti, the dweller. In quotation marks, it says, this word has no English equivalent. It means a state of detachment, in quotation. Speaking the word, calling the power, deep in earth's heart, the sons of Amenti heard, and hearing, directed the changing of the flower of the fire that burns eternally, changing and shifting, using the logos, until the great fire changed its direction. Over the world then broke the great waters, drowning and sinking, changing earth's balance, until only the temple of light was left standing on the great mountain of Undal, still rising out of the water. Some there were who were living, saved from the rush of the fountains. Called to me, then the master saying, gather ye together my people, take them by the arts ye have learned afar across the waters, until you reach the land of the hairy barbarians, dwelling in the caves of the desert. Follow there the plan that ye know of. Gather I then my people, and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the temple. Suddenly over it rose the waters, vanished from the earth, until the time appointed was the great temple. Fast we fled toward the sun of the morning, until beneath us lay the land of the children of Kim. Raging, they came with cudgels and spears, lifted in anger, seeking to slay and utterly destroy the sons of Atlantis. Then raised I staff and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks as fragments of stone of the mountain. Then spoke I to them in words calm and peaceful, telling them of the might of Atlantis, saying we were children of the sun and its messengers. Cowered I them by my display of magic science, until my feet they groveled when I released them. Long dwelt we in the land of Kim, long and yet long again, until obeying the commands of the master, who while sleeping yet lives eternally, I sent from me the sons of Atlantis, sent them in many directions, that from the womb of time wisdom might rise again in her children. Long time dwelt I in the land of Kim, doing great works by the wisdom within me. Upward grew into the light of knowledge the children of Kim, watered by the rains of wisdom. Blessed I then a path to Amente, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age, a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Great grew the sons of Kim, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upwards in soul force. Now for a time I go from among them into the dark halls of Amente, deep in the halls of the earth, before the lords of powers, face to face once again with the dweller. Rise I high over the entrance, a doorway, a gateway, leading down to Amente. Few there would be a courage to dare it. I'm going to read that again. Raised I over the entrance, a doorway, a great way leading down to Amente. Few there would be with courage to dare. Few pass the portal to dark Amente. Raised over the passage I, a mighty pyramid, using the power that overcomes earth force, gravity in quotation marks. Deep and yet deeper placed I a force house or chamber. From it carved I a circular passage, reaching almost to the great summit. There in the apex set I the crystal, sending the ray into the time space, drawing the force from out of the ether, concentrating upon the gateway to Amente. And in quotations or paragraph or parentheses, Doreal says, see the Great Pyramid. And he is talking or referring to the Great Pyramid in Giza, which is in Egypt. The pyramids in Egypt, the three that we always see that you can go on Google Earth and look at. The temple, the pyramid, is what he's referring to that he built. Other chambers I built and left vacant to all seeming, yet hidden within them are the keys to Amente. He who with courage would dare the dark realms, let him be purified first by long fasting. Lie in the sarcophagus of stone in my chamber, then to reveal I to him the great mysteries. Soon shall he follow to where I shall meet him. Even in darkness of earth shall I meet him. I, Thoth, wisdom, Lord of wisdom, meet him and hold him and dwell with him always. Built I the great pyramid, patterned after the pyramid of the earth force, burning eternally so that it too might remain through the ages. In it I built my knowledge of magic science, so that it might be here when I return from Amente. While I sleep in the halls of Amente, my soul roaming free will incarnate, dwell among men in this form or another. And it says in quotation marks, Hermes thrice born. That's where he gets his name from. Emissary on earth am I of the dweller, fulfilling his commands so man might be lifted. Now return I to the halls of Amente, leaving behind me some of my wisdom. Preserve ye and keep ye the command of the dweller. Lift ever upwards your eyes towards the light. Surely in time ye are one with the master. Surely by right ye are one with the master. Surely by right ye are one with all. Now I depart from ye. Know my commandments. Keep them and be them, and I will be with you, helping and guiding you into the light. Now before me opens the portal. Go I down in the darkness of night. And in this section, at the very end, this is Thoth, this is how he is betrayed in the pyramids and passed down through ancient times. He is portrayed as the being with the bird head, the ibis. He is holding the Ankh, which I will discuss at a later time, what that means and what that is and what that represents. And he also is holding, or in his hand, the Merkaba. or actually the tetrahedron, I'm sorry, the tetrahedron. And I will discuss that at a later time. I don't want to get off topic. I just wanted to bring this short reading with everyone. I appreciate you guys sticking around for the last 20 minutes and partaking in this knowledge and reading from these ancient texts that is very powerful and has a deep embedded, deep-rooted message that everyone needs to take the time to read. And I dare say that you need to read it more than once. I would say play the audiobook version and read it for yourself. Order a copy. I will try to remember to link in the comment section of this video on Amazon where you can pick up a copy. Also, Billy Carson has a book that is out. It's Amazon's bestseller. It is called The Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. It is a great read as well, and I implore each one of you to order a copy. Thank you again for sharing in this moment with me and studying and reading the ancient text. As I say in every video right before it ends, be the change that you want to see. I love you all, and you guys have a great weekend. Thanks.